Now that the SEO analysis of DakotaGear.com is complete, let's take a look at the promising areas that have shown up for traffic and profit. First, let's take a look at Dakota Gear as a business. Dakota Gear is an online Amazon merchant selling paracord and related products. It actually has two websites. The first and more fleshed out site is paracord550milspec.com, and the second is DakotaGear.com. This SEO analysis was strictly analyzing DakotaGear.com. Now, first, let's look at the more established website, paracord550milspec.com. As you can guess from the name, it specifically is about mil-spec paracord. This is a military specification with very detailed manufacturing requirements. It's an especially strong paracord. This site compares mil-spec paracord with commercial paracord, which has no standards for manufacturing at all. As you can imagine, this website is strictly promoting mil-spec paracord. It does very well in the rankings. In an organic search for 550 mil-spec paracord, this site ranks number 2 and 3, right behind Amazon. Okay, let's take a look at DakotaGear.com. This site also focuses on paracord, but not just mil-spec or commercial paracord, but any kind of paracord and related products. The site is only partially fleshed out. It needs a fair amount of work. It has no organic ranking in Google for any of the major keywords. It literally does not show up in the first 100 results for any keyword. This site also has articles contrasting commercial and mil-spec paracord. These articles invariably point out how much higher quality mil-spec paracord is than commercial. So what's the opportunity here? The first promising area is commercial paracord. This is what I would consider to be the elephant in the room. Dakota Gear's paracord sales are roughly 50% mil-spec paracord and 50% commercial paracord. Now if you look at Etsy, you'll see hundreds, literally hundreds of stores selling all kinds of paracord products like bracelets, dog collars, leashes, macrame, decor, all kinds of things made with commercial paracord. Yet, Dakota Gear is not promoting commercial paracord at all. Not at all. It does not even make a single suggestion that anyone should consider buying commercial paracord. All its recommendations are for mil-spec paracord. It should be promoting commercial paracord for the kinds of projects that only need commercial paracord. Now the suggestion I'm making here is that you might have a category added, something like lifestyle, that would include paracord fashion, paracord decor, paracord pet accessories, toys, household items. Now let's take a look at promising area number 2, which I've identified as paracord knots. Now this particular area emerged after doing extensive keyword analysis. What I discovered was that the term paracord knots has a very good search volume and low competition. And I discovered several websites about knots, just about knots, that had really good engagement, traffic, conversion. And yet these sites were not about paracord knots, they were just about knots. So what about paracord knots? Well, here's what's interesting. There are literally hundreds of paracord knots. If you take a look at the top paracord sites, you'll see they all have tutorials for specific knots. And by that I mean a tutorial that just tells you how to do a clover knot, or how to do a mandala knot, or a lanyard knot. Yet, despite having these tutorials, not a single one of these sites has an actual section for paracord knots. They'll have videos, they'll have images, lots of information about knots. And if you think about it, knots are at the core of every paracord project. You pretty much can't do much with paracord without making a knot. How come nobody is addressing this? This means there's an opportunity that nobody else is taking advantage of. Now, if you take a look at the subject of knots, it lends itself to a really good hierarchical structure. It lends itself to being laid out in such a way that Google can spider it easily and can see robust, closely related content that could help establish Dakota Gear as a real authority site on the subject of paracord and use of paracord. You would have an index in probably alphabetical order by the name of the knot. There would be a photo for each knot, and for many of these knots there would be a link to a video tutorial, or you may have a link to a PDF that could be downloaded, or even a page that shows a sequence of images that show you how to make the knot. There's plenty of opportunity for cross-linking with other elements on the website. For instance, there are projects that use specific knots. The project itself could link to the index, to the entry for this particular knot. The project could link to the videos that illustrate how to do this knot. Major opportunity for some robust content development, cross-linking, and establishment of expertise here. Likewise, paracord knots, they're pretty, they're very, very visual, they're ideal for social media. They're ideal for creating YouTube tutorial videos, Facebook posts. There's some wonderful Pinterest sites out there specifically for paracord and paracord knots. Great opportunity there. Instagram is an ideal platform for paracord and paracord knots. So we've got these two areas that are really promising for real results in traffic, visibility, and increased revenue. What do we do now? Well, we've just finished this detailed SEO analysis. So the first thing to do is to improve the existing pages as recommended. Then there are additional pages to add. That should happen next. Then we should flesh out the commercial paracord area. Once we get some additional content up, we want to seriously evaluate how we can cross-link. We have some recommendations that can be implemented in a straightforward manner, and we should be able to see some results happening in a matter of months.